Our story revolves around an unconventional trio. Karna's Freehorn, long-lived Fawny traveling musician, Maud, a Shopaloo survivalist turned baker, and Martin, a mysterious human man who hides his eyes and tells many lies. When the caravan they met at was attacked by a group of bandits known as the Jackalites, the group traveled to find the goods stolen from the caravan and release Maud's surrogate brother Ren from a magical contract forcing him into criminal servitude. Along the way, they met a loose cockatrice, pixies, automatons, accidentally crossed a picket line, and eventually Karna was captured by the Pontificate of Bastion, a theocratic government with a bounty on his head. Simultaneously, it was revealed that Martin was actually an undercover apostle for the Pontificate named Alexander Tremont, and he took Karna in himself, but not before tearing up the contract that bound Ren to the service of powerful crime lord Jack of Aces. However, after giving the Pontificate the magical goods he found and the rest of Jack's contracts, Alex was beginning to distrust the Pontificate's leadership. He broke Karna out with the help of Maud and Ren, and after saying goodbye to Ren, the crew had to find a hideout that was safe, trustworthy, and didn't care that they were all flat broke.
We don't have to like start immediately. We can.
Welcome to Tales Unwritten.
And
Bitch.
we're back.
You don't start the show. What the fuck? What the fuck?
The only tabletop show that
Breaks the hierarchy of command. Welcome back to Tales Unwritten. We're now on a new channel with a new setup.
Yeah. Things are
You'll never
different.
see this exact setup again because we're about to move.
Well, no, you'll see this exact setup for a while, but then you won't.
Yeah, after this
very hectic week.
Yeah, we are filming all of this in 1 week, and then we're moving.
It's a new book in the story. It's now time to switch everything
You're really
up.
pushing for book. You're
I like book. I like book. I think book sounds good.
Maybe this is book 2.
Although that would make it written.
It's an unwritten book, like the never-ending story.
There you go.
The rest is still unwritten.
It's unwritten because this is improvised. I don't know if you guys got it.
Oh.
You guys haven't been memorizing lines?
I've never written a thing in my life.
I mean, I've got the script going right here.
I wanted to go over Karna's death scene real quick.
Ooh.
Alex,
Oh, shit.
We're here.
you are in the holy city of Atega right now.
Oh, no.
The streets are empty right now, but you are directly under the goddess tree herself. Her bark is glowing a soft white.
I looked at, do I still have my amulet on me?
You do.
I clasp it. Is the city deserted? There's just no one around?
You don't see anybody around.
As I get up to like the ramparts of the cathedral that kind of surrounds the tree, I stop. And then I turn towards my house and start walking there instead.
Okay.
And by the time I get there, I just stand at the stoop. The doorway is, of course, always imposing. But as I finally take the steps up, I just lightly knock on the door.
Okay. After a moment, you hear some like excited sort of stepping towards the door, and it swings open, and you don't see anyone in front of you, but downwards you see a small boy excitedly looking up.
Oh.
And you recognize the boy, though it takes a moment.
Hi.
He's confused. Father was supposed to be home today.
He was. I just get down on my knees and I hug him. And I just whisper, I'm so sorry. I wish things would have been different.
He whispers back, "You should be." The branches from the goddess tree above you, you start to hear them creaking and moaning as they start to move towards you, surrounding you.
As I kind of tighten my arms, I realize that they've passed through. And then I stand up again, I look up at the branches, clasping the amulet again. It wasn't right. It wasn't right.
The branches seem to form into hands about to grasp you, and then you wake up. In Greener Pastures, you're currently in Karna's Uncle Fergus's guest house. The inside of a fawny house, they sort of just let the nature sort of grow into the house. So there's moss on the ground, keeping the floor sort of soft. You're actually not even sleeping on a bed necessarily. It's more of a sort of bed roll. They don't really have beds as you would imagine them.
I imagine I wouldn't be unaccustomed to bedrolls though. Long time.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's a fairly comfortable sleep for you, if unrestful.
For my body, not my mind. Alex would just immediately sit up in a cold sweat, kind of like pawing his amulet still around his neck, but now either because he was tossing and turning or for some other reason, it is kind of twirled around his neck and tightened, and he has to fiddle with it to try and get it back and loose. Am I alone in the guest house, or?
At the moment, you are alone. Yes.
No time like the present, Alex would get up and just don his he wears practically just a light tunic and trousers to bed, so when he gets up he dons his armor.
I mean, would you like to describe Alex's current look?
He definitely has put layers on top. He doesn't want to get rid of his armor, but his armor bears still the signifiers of the pontificate, so while he's been traveling incognito, he's gotten kind of a poncho and a cloak to wrap over most of his chest and arm and goes down to his knees. And he's kind of, he's looked much more like a traveling wayfarer. And instead of going like with Martin's black colors, he's gone for more earthly browns and just neutralness, try and blend in. Aside from not being able to grow a beard, his hair is kind of grown out a bit. Hasn't kept it as clean as he was when he was an apostoll.
You hear the sound of fawny children playing outside, adults talking. And why don't I give you guys a little map that one of Karna's nephews drew for you.
Aw. That was
You guys
nice
are
of them.
currently in the most major city of Greener Pastures, Patrita Town. It is the most densely populated area of Greener Pastures, so there's voices all around where you're living. You've been here about 2 weeks, and it's been a fairly pleasant stay. People are very polite.
That would like this entire 2 weeks, Alex has constantly looked uncomfortable. Just a visual sort of like mask has come over his face.
I think fawny people may have may sort of mirror that discomfort, but in a polite way.
You also probably get hit on a lot. You're tall.
That even more uncomfortable than. As Alex looks out at the children playing, the last piece of clothing he usually wears is that Pixie Tech shield he usually keeps by the leaning against the door. Kind of hoping someone might steal it, just taking that as a sign. No one has, so on the side just grabs it and
The fawny people are very considerate, and they don't steal from you.
he just dons that on his back like he's done every day since we got here.
Alrighty.
And then he's gonna go out and see if he can find Maud.
What do we think Maud is doing right now, Jesse?
Right now, she's probably coming back from, Maud very much loves this island. It's an island full of Karnas. Everyone is so nice and like so kind and like just very like honest in a way that she really appreciates. She's for sure discovered sex. She's been sleeping with a fawny who is totally in love with her, and she can't remember his name every time. You know, she's Maud. She's not trying to be mean, but she's just like, this is just a cool activity that we do together, and we can keep doing that if you'd like. this poor fawny is just
that is more normal for fawny than abnormal.
Yeah.
This guy might be more
Passionate.
Yeah, he might be more of an attachment style than most people have.
Not a lot of foreigners come to the island.
yeah. She's probably coming back from his place.
A bright orange fawny named Philadelphos. Everyone calls him Gritty though.
I need to see his face now.
Show me Gritty! I moved from Philadelphia 2 years ago and I haven't seen a Gritty and it's driving me crazy. Is it Gritty with D's or T's?
One of each.
You pick. He waves goodbye. He's like, see ya, Maud. See ya.
Oh, goodbye.
Are you sure you have enough water?
I am good. Thank you though. Same time tomorrow, perhaps.
Yeah. If you wanna do that.
Sick.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
She turns and walks away.
Bye, Maud. Bye. Bye, Maud.
Goodbye.
Would you like to describe what Maud looks like?
Yeah, she's fully just adopting this culture of like
This is great. I never want to
gone
leave.
God, she's wearing like the
Oh, I love the braided hair.
yeah, she lets some children braid her hair and she's like, this is great. I love this. She's wearing the is there a name for the
Like a poncho
I just been
kind
calling
of
them
thing.
ponchos.
poncho? Cool. Wearing a purple poncho with some orange in there. It's just a lot happier than she was a couple of weeks ago. I think she's fully, Alex is here. She's got a new friend, and Karna escaped. Everything is going really well.
To be clear, those aren't unrelated ideas. Alex is the new friend.
Yes, yes, that's.
I'm saying that for the audiences.
Still don't know your mysterious origins.
I don't know what you're talking.
Alex helped Karna get out. Martin put him in there. That bastard.
Oh yeah, anytime Martin's name is said, she spits on the ground.
When we last left Maud, she was very worried about the Bakers and their situation. Is that still weighing on her?
It is, yeah. I think she was just like very stressed when they first got here, but like all the good things happening in her life, she's like, okay, maybe I'll die if I'm so stressed for the rest of my life. So let's just not think about it for a bit. She is thinking about it, but it's more like every time that it starts to get into like bad territory, she's like, I just won't think about it for another moment. Maybe another day. I'll handle it tomorrow. And then the tomorrows turned into days and then weeks.
Like in the back of her head, it's just getting worse.
Yes. But she's like, oh, just gonna put a lid on the pot and just
I mean, what's she gonna
keep
do
getting
about
worse.
it while she's here, right?
Yeah, right. Like she can't do anything. So she was like, you know what? Like something that her sister used to say is that like, if you can't do anything about it, then don't worry about it.
You eventually run into Alex coming out to meet you.
Morning, Maud.
Good morning. How did you sleep?
Comfortably. Are you still with Gritty?
Right, Gritty.
Just took her a second to remember the name.
You have to remember his name eventually.
I will.
I don't think he calls himself that. I think everybody else calls him that. He keeps trying to introduce himself as Philadelphos, and she cannot remember that.
No, that's too long. I just know a little life hack. I just call him dude or man, and then you don't have to remember anyone's names.
Well, I was going ahead to look out green again to try and see if anything might be coming from the mainland. But if you want to get Karna first,
Yeah, let's do that. Let's find Karna and we'll do that.
What would you say Karna's doing, Nick?
So you guys probably haven't seen a lot of Karna. Due to just kind of his nature, he loses track of time very easily. And he's currently surrounded by people he hasn't seen in probably at minimum 50 years, maybe upwards of a century. So he's been catching up with old flings, old friends. We would have traveled all the way to his uncle Fergus's home, which he owns a very profitable pipeweed garden, and probably would have offered, a little bit of work here and there just to have a place to stay for a bit while we let the heat die down. He knows what that means. He's cool like that.
He has some gambling debts.
He has a lot of debts. He's
speaking of debts, I guess it's just for
Yeah.
room and board.
and pretty much I'd
Part of the reason you guys came here is that the Fauni do not care about money.
yeah, we're
Inside their community, it does not matter.
we're a societal community. If we want to trade with stuff, we usually use barter. There is money on the island because we do trade with other places, but typically we don't use it amongst ourselves unless somebody's like, yeah, no, I'll take it for some cash, whatever.
They're literally all family to some extent or another. They don't know who they're related to. They may as well all be related to each other in the terms of how they take care of each other.
Incest Island.
Welcome to the conservative nightmare.
They do avoid directly having any sexual interactions with direct relatives.
As a disclaimer.
Yeah, although we do have to track our birth line by our mothers because we are a very promiscuous people. Luckily, our genetics doesn't hurt like that if an accident does happen.
And
Gotta love that matrilineal communism.
for instance, for Karna's dad, he's just the dad who stepped up. So and that's just how it works.
He's the one that my mother has been with, basically. Like they end up together, they live together, but they don't. It's
This was
the
explained.
entire island is a massive polycule.
Yeah. This was explained to Maud, and Maud, it just assumes, got it. All these guys are Karna's
We're
dad.
all family.
Well, and you didn't know your father.
Yeah.
So, like, to you, that's entirely normal.
Very normal, yeah.
Like, you only knew your mother and your sister and basically literally nobody else.
Maud's family started with more siblings, and then it was whittled down to us two. So and the mother. So it's mainly been, it's not normal. It's very normal.
It's very rough living in the forest, Sebastian.
yeah. Very normal to not
There's
know
giant frogs.
siblings. Oh, that frog.
With all that said, you would probably be able to find Karna, because if there's anything you know about him, he loves drawing a crowd and he loves entertaining people. Specifically, he would love telling his tales of adventure to the children of the town. So wherever you hear like the sound of a strumming lute and the laughter of children, you'd probably find him at the moment.
Would you like to describe what he currently looks like?
Yes. Karna would not have taken on the traditional garb of Greener Pastures. As much as it is he has a deep love for the place. His home is the world, and he feels that if he were to put on the traditional clothing, it would kind of like put roots down for him that he's not ready to sprout. But he would have gotten his cloak kind of repaired after years and decades on the road by local clothiers to more match the aesthetic and kind of like wear that in place of what normally would be the poncho. He also had his hair braided, and with his new mission, trying to keep it literally on the front of his mind, would have had a local druid or sage help him procure some orange blossoms with which he would fashion his braids into a fanciful little crown knot on the top of his head.
So you two are able to find Karna.
Yeah, I would have been just kind of regaling them with a tale. And as I leapt from the cart, I did a backward somersault and said, "See you later!" And he drove off, cursing my name. "Curse you, Karna Freehorn!" Just as I finished that story. "Ah! Hello, friends!" Thank you. I'd swing the lute back around behind my back and I'd walk up to you. How many days has it been? Sorry, I've been losing track of time.
About 3 now. Have you shown any of the children what you got your muse to do?
I have very little use for that around here.
I imagine the children would still like seeing us sword flailing about, even if it didn't hurt anyone.
Mayhaps at a certain point. Though most around here tend to abhor violence in most forms, outside of tales of daring do.
Well, I'm getting off topic. I was just going to go to Lookout Green again. Thought maybe we could all catch up along the way.
Beautiful day for it. Looks around at the weather.
It looks multicolored.
Instead of going all the way to Lookout Green, which would take like half a day, do you mean Lookout Falls, which would take a significantly shorter amount of
Well,
time?
he wanted to look towards the mainland, and if Lookout Falls still...
It's also a lookout.
I'm going to the Lookout.
Falls or green? Green's a bit of a long hike. We'd probably be camping out on the way back.
That's not terrible, but if you don't want to spend half a day traveling, we could go to the falls.
Karna takes a coin out of his pocket, flips it. Falls it is.
If you're going to make a choice, make a choice. Don't just let random chance decide.
Oh, choice now. Not fate? I smile wryly as I begin walking down the road.
Fate is for much grander purposes than where one is looking out to the west.
Who's to say?
So as you guys walk through the town, you see lots of preparations for one of very many festivals that the Fawny, but this one is special because this is the Summer Renewal Festival. It celebrates the beginning of summer and also the reinforcing of the wards around Greener Pastures that sort of keep it generally safe from harm. Who knows if it's like effective, but it's a tradition that people like to do. You've never seen any physical evidence of warding keeping people from getting on the island or anything.
No, but I know we have druids, and I know that they have this ceremony, and I know it makes a fun little glowy glow.
Yeah, it's sort of an offering to the spirits of the island and it's sort of a promise to protect the island and be protected by the island in turn. And so everyone's preparing for that and erecting tents and like getting everything ready, creating a big bonfire.
Yeah, I also would have explained to you that like some of the materials that we would have been looking for and how some of them have been relatively difficult to get to, as the church has kind of made a large stronghold between the border of where we would usually go to gather some of the more plentiful versions of it.
Yeah, you would have noticed trade coming in a lot less frequently as of late. Like, it's only been 2 weeks, but you would have expected at least one shipment of something in the past 2 weeks, and multiple shipments of stuff have been delayed, which has really freaked out the elders who are trying to put together this festival that requires outside ingredients. So they've been scrounging to find everything they need.
Would Alex, before everything that has happened so far happened, would Alex have heard about why the Pontificate is specifically trying to apparently kind of embargo Greener Pastures?
Would you have heard? No.
Okay.
You can roll to see if you can intuit.
Insight with intelligence as the stat?
Sure.
All right. 5. It's not vigorous enough.
You have no idea what the fuck they're doing. That wasn't your job.
Well,
You just wanted to go fight.
Do the druids expect you to perform at the renewal, or is that just an event you're happy to perform at?
Well, the party I gladly perform at. The ritual itself is more nuanced and technical than my skills would allow for, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like, then this is also one of the very few events where they're like, we're not doing an official orgy. You can go fuck whoever you want, but we want people's minds on
This one place, no fucking.
Well, look, there's the ceremony, and then there's the after party. So yes, my skills aren't necessarily called on for that. I lean more towards the creative side of the Fawny experience. There are those that are more devout to the Great Shepherd, that are more inclined to work with the land itself.
Now that drop on the Great Shepherd, Alex would definitely have tried to do research on that in the last 2 weeks.
You probably would have gotten a lot of answers.
Oh, even better.
To Karna, I'm guessing to the druids, the Great Shepherd is something different. To Karna, it is something that's like more analogous, much more of like a kind of like a metaphor for like the spirit of the land. It can be physically manifested, but Karna sees it in more of like an Eastern religion sense, where it's just kind of a collection of dispersed energy.
That's probably the one way Alex has been fighting off every single flirting Fawny, is that every time someone approaches him, he asks them about the Great Shepherd.
A lot of people have different ideas about it. Some people think he's more of a sort of representation of a connection to the land. Other people are like, no, he was a guy. He was a guy who led us from one place to this place.
Actual great arch elder fae.
Like a Moses figure, where he's like, he led us to the promised land, you know? Like, and other people think of him almost more in a godlike or at least prophet status. Yeah, like Karna seems to be under the belief that he just didn't really exist. Other people are like, no, he was a real guy. But it was a very long time ago.
Yeah, Karna believes in the Great Shepherd as a metaphor, as just a good connection between mortals and the planet and the energies there within, and how those things flow and move. To him, that is what the Great Shepherd is.
And most likely he would not say that around Elder Corinna.
Probably not. No, he'd learned to keep his mouth shut around many of the elders, especially those in the druidic line of the Fawny.
Elder Corinna would absolutely just actually slap your mouth.
Do they believe those who believe that the Great Shepherd was a physical entity, do they believe that they existed before or after the formation of the archipelago?
Well before. Their culture has existed long before the archipelago was formed, because that was only 400 years ago.
Yeah, we've been here longer than you, Humie.
There's actually someone on the island right now who remembers when it happened. He's the oldest Fawny alive, but he was a child when the archipelago became just the archipelago.
Where does he live on this map? I would know that.
He lives in Patrona Town.
Okay.
He's in a cozy little place. He's just called Grandpa.
Yep.
Everybody calls him grandpa.
I would have let
he
you
calls
know that.
everybody grandchild.
How old is he?
453.
Wow. What's the average lifespan of a Fawny?
More around 300-ish years.
He's very
He is insanely
yeah.
old. Would you have met him, do you think? Would you have gone to see him?
Having heard all of this about the Great Shepherd and then hearing that there was someone old enough to have lived through the creation of the archipelago or Bastion as a whole, yes, definitely. If they would have let him, Alex would have sought him out.
You would have seen truly one of the oldest
As we're walking,
people.
as we're walking,
Jesus Christ.
as we're walking by the old man's hut, you remember the first time seeing
His grandpa.
His grandpa. As we walked through the town, Alex would definitely have looked back and remembered.
He looks like a Damascus goat, dark fur, half-lidded eyes, pronounced Cro-Magnon-like forehead, wrinkles in every possible place there could be
floppy
wrinkles,
Muppet-like ears.
and big old floppy ears.
His dick gotta look crazy when it's out.
Oh, God. Why did you say that?
He may as well not have one at this point. His poncho just barely covers how low his balls are.
Everyone's like, don't get up.
Alex would come in and do the traditional, like, bowing seat, see what's going on, stand back up.
A slight gust. Ooh, flap, flap.
I think we call that event the Rending, because that sounds cool and fantasy.
Seeing his balls?
The rending of the poncho.
The event in which four appeared and the country sank into the sea, which is information you would know.
What's the atmosphere of his hut? Like, I'm guessing it's a bit more grandiose than some of them.
Oh no, it's very humble. It's small. He lives, fond of simple people.
We are.
He's even more simple than most. Like it's cluttered. He's got stuff everywhere, but he knows where it all is. So don't fucking touch it.
People bring him gifts.
Alex would have come into his tent respectfully, but given his past brusqueness, he would have just kind of done the traditional respectful kneel one would do before he if he was standing in front of him.
Before he saw his balls. He was like,
Yeah.
never again. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's why he remembers this moment so vividly.
Even kneeling, you'd probably be at eye level with him.
Yeah,
We're all very short.
No, he would see it.
I remember his balls before I remember his face.
I know you must tell this story often, but I'm new to Greener Pastures, and I do want to hear your perspective on the rending.
Right. Oh, yeah. I was a young child. I was 10 years old, something like that. And you could see the shore of Langren when you looked out over it. But that day, you could see it all sinking into the ocean. Then you could see things flying out from where it sank. And a big old flash of light, just a big old light that eventually landed on the south of the archipelago.
What, if you could describe the things you saw flying out, how would you describe them?
Large, big flapping wings. But they weren't creatures. It was like if a building had big flapping wings.
Was there anything that happened around the land you were on aside from the light landing in the south?
No. It didn't affect us. I think some ships sort of were coming this way, but when the light came over here, the ships went the other way. They were like, they went no, and they left.
They fled the light.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you. I might come back with more questions.
Oh, that's fine, little grandson. Just stop by whenever you want.
Alex.
Yes?
You can call me Alex.
I call everyone grandson. I can't remember all the names. And I might be related to anybody here. So they're all grandchildren.
I doubt you're related to me.
I don't know. I got around back in the day. I was quite the lover.
Alex looks down at himself and then just catches a slight glance at it and thank you for your time. Leaves.
I don't go much of anywhere nowadays.
Thank you.
And that was when you met
That's
Grandpa.
our grandpa.
And so as we pass by the hut this time around, Alex just...
Are you okay?
Yes, just keep moving.
He waves, hello, grandchildren.
Hello, grandfather.
Hello.
Alex starts walking faster.
And you guys just keep walking to Lookout Falls?
Yep.
All right, when you get there, you can see the shoreline pretty far away, but it's still visible.
Karna would pop a squat on a little, like, hillock looking down at the archipelago proper. There it is.
Alex would bring out a small spyglass telescope, but it's just handheld, and he just starts looking to the horizon, trying to see if there are any ships, any sign that things have changed for the past, because he's done this almost every other day.
As he's looking out that way, I just kind of like lean back. So, Maud, heard you've been getting along well with Gritty.
Right. Yeah, he's very cool. He's very handsome.
Alex, as you look out to the shoreline with the spyglass, ships are sort of like going here and there. Pontificate ships, red sails. That's a great way to know is Blackwood red sails. You've seen some collect over at Beachside Grove, which would explain a lot why trade has entirely stopped. And a few more ships have been going to and fro, sort of presumably scouting the coastline to see if they see any sign of you. But that's what you can see.
They're still out there.
Same as always.
Man, I really kicked the hornet's nest this time.
It does seem odd that they're doing this for just 3 fugitives. Seems like overkill.
We are very important.
Are we?
Me especially.
It depends. Sometimes they wish to quell the flow of information. If you have information that they don't want getting out, perhaps it might be of more importance to them.
Maybe they are just sore because you have left them,
Well, I'm sure they're very sore.
One wayward apostle is not worth all this effort.
It is a cult, so maybe they want to,
Probably.
Pick one sound effect for that. Okay, we'll go with
I
that.
like that one.
I would honestly be more worried about your appearance before them. You've fled from them twice, and this time blew up half a cathedral.
I did, didn't I?
I'm not sure what happened to that cannon, but they're definitely blaming us for it.
Either way, there's not to be done about it at the moment, other than to hopefully wait for them to find something else to grab their interest.
Well, in the meantime, do you think there's any hint we could find of where Delamere is here?
I look down at Sunder. Can I have a flashback?
Sure.
10 or so days ago, you probably would have been getting restless, probably at this exact spot.
Yep. I would imagine it would have been close to the afternoon of that day. I'd already been looking out towards the archipelago and then just in frustration, taken out my sword and just done like a kind of shadow boxing with it. Very, very futile looking.
You do have a good form.
Oh,
Nothing compared to hers, though.
Delamere?
He smiles. I'm guessing you're growing restless of this peaceful little land.
It is pastoral, and I have nothing against the people that live here, but it does feel like we are not moving closer to our goal.
Well, I'm sure you're not going to find any martial combatants out here to test your edge against. And I myself have forgotten more things about the blade than I've ever learned, but I might be able to offer you a suitable challenge. Something to keep your wits sharp.
We don't have any practice swords. Whatever we do would have to be to the first blood.
We can train gently. And Karna would pull up his lute. Dance, darling, dance. Till your partners flee the dance floor. And he'd reach for the scabbard. And he'd pull out the shattered blade of Sunder. And he'd start spinning on his finger. Dance, oh dance. Let my music guide your sword. He'd fling it at the air. Dance, darling, dance. Till your foes have all departed. You'll leave them brokenhearted with your dance. And as he says dance, the blade would hang in the air as it tumbles back down, kind of at around chest, abdomen level, as if held by an invisible hand.
Alex would take up a guard stance.
Karna would give you a wry smile, and as he starts plucking more chords to that tune, this sword would begin to kind of like sway in sort of like a fencing stance. Roll initiative?
Sure. Dude, I like how that spins.
15.
9.
I guess we can explain the new combat thing that we're doing.
Yes, here's a pre-written thing about the rules that I'm going to insert right here.
So, in order to speed up encounters for our own enjoyment, we've taken some inspiration from a modified D&D system called Nimble 5e with our own small addition. The change is pretty simple, so this won't take long, but feel free to skip this segment if you're not interested in combat rules, as it won't drastically change the experience of actually watching the show. Now, essentially, all we've done is turn attacks into a single roll. Instead of rolling to hit, then rolling damage, the attacker will simply roll their damage die. If the player rolls a 1, they automatically fail, but if they roll the maximum amount on their die, it will count as a critical hit and allow them to roll again for additional damage. And if they crit again, the effect will stack, allowing them to roll damage again. And then you just add up all those numbers. If the player rolls multiple dice for their attack, crits only happen if both die roll their maximum amount. This means while higher damage weapons have a higher chance of avoiding a complete miss and will do more damage on average, lower damage weapons will have a higher chance of getting a critical hit. So there's a little bit of give and take there. And that is essentially the Nimble 5e attacking rules, which is the only thing we're taking from that system, really. Everything else about the combat is consistent with base 5e. Now, that said, I personally didn't like how this system essentially ignored AC, so I made my own small addition. If the damage of the attack does not meet or exceed a minimum damage threshold, the attack will not hit. And the minimum damage threshold is decided by taking the amount your AC exceeds 10, then dividing it by 2, rounding up. Explained as a formula, MDT equals AC minus 10 divided by 2. So, for example, Karna has an AC of 14. So, minus 10, that's 4, divided by 2, that's 2. His MDT is 2. Alex, meanwhile, has an AC of 18, so his MDT is 4. Since AC is a generally consistent stat, you kind of just gotta work out this number once and you're good for a while. And if you choose to spend an action defending yourself or evading an attack, you get to double that number for that round. And that's it. Nothing too fancy, but as you'll eventually see, it can make combat faster paced and a lot more dangerous since attacks will land much more often. We can't promise this is the most balanced mechanic in the world. In fact, I guarantee you it is not. That said, if you want to try this out for your own games and maybe find ways to improve that system, we'll provide a handy little document in the description giving you all this stuff in text. I don't expect anybody else to get much use out of it, but it'll be there for you if you want it. And now back to your regularly scheduled PvP.
So yeah, we start by just rolling straight up damage die.
Yep.
By the way, for my class, we are homebrewing a little bit. We're taking a feat that I would get a little later on and downscaling it, because this is the key reason I took this class, and it would take another 2 levels to get to it. 6. It would probably go in, kind of circumnavigate your guard as you're trying to like parry it. It would kind of go under your arm, kind of like poke you like right at like an opening in your armpit in your armor, giving you just kind of like the slightest tickle of a pinprick and then pull back. So I'm not dealing damage.
Yeah, I got you.
It's just sparring with you.
At least getting above the 4 is a goal.
So it gives you like a little jab, pulls back, and I give you just kind of like a as I continue just kind of like play as I move.
Alex, since his opponent is invisible and just a floating sword as far as he can tell, is kind of actually just aiming for hitting the sword.
Anything above a 2 and you hit.
Well, so I rolled a 6, which actually means I get to roll again.
It does.
Oh yeah.
Damn it. I'm doing too much of a flourish here. There we go. 6 and 5, 11 plus, I think it's just my dex, so 14.
As this is as this is also like kind of a crit, Karna sees you like going in, swinging, and he gets flashbacks of your father doing the very same thing, and you hear him kind of like break the cord for a second, and before you like feel like you make purchase with anything, the handle / shattered blade of Sunder just kind of to the ground as Karna just kind of stumbles for a moment. You can see that there's like a look of exasperation on his face, some sort of like PTSD in the back of his eyes. So sorry about that.
No, it's...
Your form is impeccable.
I was taught well.
I guess we've been a little out of practice too, and I reached down to Sunder, and this being the first time I have used Sunder in a martial context in a long while, does it resonate at all to that?
Let's roll insight with advantage.
23.
Then I think yes, you feel maybe a stronger connection to Sunder than you felt before, and maybe even like a tickle in your back of your mind of a voice trying to speak to you. And you get the impression that if you were to go somewhere alone, quiet, you might be able to hear the voice more clearly.
I tuck that feeling away as we end the flashback by me resheathing Sunder. And we might have another flashback later of when I actually did that.
Well, I'd say at this point, you hear Uncle Fergus calling out to you, Karna, my boy.
Uncle Fergus! I wave.
I've been looking for you.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to make myself hard to find.
Kassi just came in.
Kassi! Cassie's my niece! Oh, how's she doing? Never mind, we can just go see her.
Yeah, come on. And you see your Uncle Fergus. He's older than he was. He now walks with a stick. He can walk without it, but it's easier with the stick. He's getting up there in years.
He's in the summertime of his life, maybe approaching the autumn.
That might have been one of the bigger shocks to you coming back, is seeing how advanced his age has gotten, and maybe your parents as well.
I think it's something that he kind of recognizes, and also why he doesn't want to put down roots here, because as soon as somebody settles here, Uncle Fergus used to be he had the same kind of spirit as Karna, that wanderlust, that adventure, and seeing the older people of this town that decide to kind of settle down, put down roots, and maybe, just live their life peacefully, trading, doing whatever, he notices that ages them way quicker.
I will say, as we're leaving, Alex will go over to a nearby tree and make one scratch on its trunk. And there's probably not just that tree, but a tree by Lookout Green that has a number of hash marks, probably totaling the number of days we've been here.
So I throw my arm around Uncle Fergus and I just kind of say, come on, I'll introduce you.
But I already know her.
Oh, them.
All right, Maud, let's meet the newcomer.
Okay.
Real quick before they go, Maud doesn't understand what the scratches in the tree are, so she does a little smiley face every time that there's two next to each other. And Alex hasn't said anything yet, but it's clear that Maud's doing just a silly thing because she sees him doing something.
Well, it's feeling very whimsical in this place.
Also, can we just say it looks like Uncle Fergus fucks?
Oh, he absolutely.
Oh, he has.
How are his balls as you get older?
Full. They're full.
He might be Karna's biological father.
Possible, very possible. Yeah, I just kind of wave excitedly. Come on, you old goat, I'll race you back.
Okay. Okay. No, never mind.
Kassi landed at Shepherd's Landing a good few hours ago, so you're meeting her sort of at where the farmland begins. There's sort of steps carved into the farmland going up where different crops are.
Kind of like that Peruvian sort
exactly,
of.
Exactly, like Peruvian farms where different elevations, there's different types of plants being,
great for irrigation.
being grown. And you see Kassi at the top of the stairs. She's a young fawneye, brown hair, darker skin than Karna, and a big blue poncho draped over her. Uncle Karna!
Kassi!
She's hops towards you and then just sort of stops and then falls over on her side.
I would like to attempt to catch her, knowing that she is a fainter.
Go for it.
What would you like me to roll? Dexterity?
Yeah.
I would say Alex would look like he's trying, he lunges towards her, but Karna definitely has him beat.
That would be a 15.
Then yeah, you're able to catch her before she bruises herself on the ground.
I kind of do a power slide and catch her before her head hits the ground. Whew! Still have that condition, huh? And I kind of stroke her forehead as she comes back to consciousness.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. It's so good to see you, Uncle Karna. Oh,
there you go. Deep breath.
Jesse loves fainting. Guys.
I'm so happy. I have a tattoo of one.
And up.
Karna, I brought back the cherry blossoms.
Wonderful.
It was really hard getting back.
Which path did you take to get down there?
Oh, just along the eastern coast.
Ooh, that's a tough way to go.
Well, it was the most direct route, but it was fine going down. But going up, it got a lot harder. I only made it through because I joined a circus.
Oh, you did!
I found a circus, and then they hid me, and they took me up to Beachside Grove, and then I was able to take the ferry over at night.
That's so exciting. Did you perform in the circus? He seems more excited about that than her.
I played a little flute for my friends there, but I didn't I wasn't in the circus. I was mostly hiding. It's not. When I was going back up, it's not good for fauna out there right now.
It's really is getting harder, isn't it?
They were stopping all the fauna and just taking them somewhere.
She arrived a couple days ago, or just this morning?
Just this morning.
I see. I'm glad you stayed safe, young one.
No, it's fine. And apparently I was the only person who came back with the cherry blossoms this year.
They have been getting harder to get to.
Uncle Fergus sort of takes this as a cue. He sort of like she was like presenting like a little thing that she was keeping the cherry blossom. He's like, I'll take that. You catch up with Uncle Karna. And he walks off to give it to Elder Corinna.
I pat him kind of between the shoulder blades and give him a smile. Fergus, by the way, would have been the only one who knows what your true identity is. I would have told.
Slipped. Oh,
Fergus is the only one that probably would understand in like the direct vicinity of Karna. Also, he has really good pipe weed, and Karna probably did just let it slip.
I gotta tell you something.
Oh, that guy we came here with? Fucking knock.
He's not gonna want any weed. Don't offer it.
Don't offer him the weed.
I mean, you can offer it to him, but just
He probably won't be cool about
he
it.
won't be. He'll get all like, he'll grab that thing on his neck and he'll be like, oh, forgive me.
He'll start monologuing.
he'll totally wet the blunt.
I saw him looking at Grandpa's balls the other day. Just,
Fuck.
He's also a pervert.
I'm making a terrible first impression here.
He's a narc and a pervert.
He smiles at Karna and like sort of.
And every time Uncle Fergus passes by, Alex definitely gives him like the most awkward smile because he's like, I don't know what to say, but I know I should be grateful for you letting me live on your property. So, thanks.
You've probably been helping tend his garden.
Probably.
He's maybe warmed up to you a little bit if you've been helping him with something.
Oh, he would definitely help with labor.
And Karna would have given them a good impression of them overall. He would have let him know that the boy is definitely conflicted.
Gotcha.
He's a narc.
He's on a spiritual journey right now, but he may have narked on Karna super hard, but he also made good by it.
So just hide the good
He also
stuff.
helped blow up the church.
He also helped me commit terrorism.
So you know,
that's pretty
like,
cool.
Kind of, yeah. Cassie, like, kind of, I think you know this, like, kind of idolizes you a little bit. Partially just because you aren't there much. I think it's easier to idolize a.
She hears the tales of Karna, and
Yeah.
especially as like she's probably fresh on her pilgrimage,
Yeah.
so she probably also heard tales of me while I was traveling.
She very much is excited to see you, partially because you're not a very present authority figure, which means you're the coolest one.
Yeah. I'm also not a very authoritative authority figure.
Yeah. You're the one just like, do whatever you want.
You're alive. You're in a circus? That's so cool.
But Cassie is very anxious, and she's like, "Oh, okay." As she passes up to Fergus, what if I did something wrong? Maybe what if something goes wrong during the festival? What if it's my fault?
I would clasp her by the shoulders, knowing that she's kind of in the middle of having another panic attack that might make her faint. And I would look at her and just tell her, "You did wonderful, little one. You did wonderful, fondling.
Thank you, Uncle Karna.
You've brought back more than I brought back on my first go. Maybe even more than I brought back on my second go as well. Together."
Did you ever bring back anything?
I
from the
absolutely
ritual?
would have, but I get very distracted.
Gotcha.
They'll make every single ounce of that count.
Okay.
Alex finally steps forward and just asks, did you get those from the Blossom Wood?
Yes.
Those are potent blossoms. You should not be afraid about their effect on the ceremony.
Oh yeah. I'm just afraid I did something wrong.
What could you have possibly have done wrong?
I don't know.
The answer is nothing.
Is it?
You did the best of any of us. You are the hero of this entire ceremony.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of pressure.
Not pressure. The truth.
Responsibility. Oh, okay.
I'm Maud.
Oh, hi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maud. Alex, this is Kassi. This is my niece.
Hello, Cassie.
Kassi, this is Maud and Alex. They helped me break out of prison.
He was in a cult, and I'm from a bakery.
Cool.
Never mind.
She seems to like linger on you, Maud, for a second. She doesn't say why though, and just sort of moves on to talking again to Karna as you guys make your way back into Patrita town. She would want to go check on Elder Corinna just to see like is everything okay? Did I do a good job?
We'll go that way.
By the way, Elder Corinna is
Wow.
sort of a Cretan wild goat. She's an older woman. She likes to sit down a lot.
Yeah, an old potato goat of a woman.
So no one else can appreciate the fact that there is just a giant camera in my way, so all I see are the massive horns.
Yes.
Big ass Loki
have
horns.
in my notes in quotation, sick ass horns.
Sick ass horns. They are some sick ass horns.
She's also fairly old for a fauni. She's 315 years old, but still not quite as old as Grandpa, because no one's as old as Grandpa. As you guys come into her hut, you see her sort of whip up and go, Karakus! Karakus!
Yes. Greetings, Krina.
Can we talk without the?
Oh, sorry, Alex. She wants you to go.
Alex leaves.
You. Go. Get
Me.
Maud, come here. Look what I found.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Excuse me a moment.
You would have noticed as we entered her domicile, Karna would have been like, he would have kind of straightened up a bit more, like a student in the present of a very strict nun.
Karnakus. I do not like the outsiders being here during the festival.
I know, and I very much appreciate your patience. They are very good friends of mine, and they are in dire need of our hospitality.
Do you know what outsiders? Do you know what human? Human? You know what they do before we've come to Greener Pastures? They cut off our horns and use them for magic tricks that they put in cauldron and they go woo and do magic with our horns.
I know all the
He
old.
will cut off horns.
I assure you, this particular human has no inclination towards that. Have I ever met humans that are inclined to do that, or is this just a very old folk tale?
You have never met a human who tried to cut off your horns.
He's struggling internally right now, and I think our people can help guide him the proper way, our way.
Oh, Karnakus, you are a good boy,
I smile warmly.
but very stupid.
I smile warmer.
All right, go get out. Kassi, you can come in and we will look at the blossoms together. Good job, you do good job.
I smile at Kassi. The look she gives me, does she wish me to leave, or is she...
She's kind of like, don't leave me alone with her. But also, what are you going to do? Tell Elder Corinna no? Like...
Is this Cassie's first time back? Like, bringing something with her?
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind, I'd actually love to see her haul. For old time's sake.
Fine. Only you.
I smile and nod.
Uncle Fergus, who had recently dropped off stuff, also just heads on out. Karna, I'll be back at the house.
I wave. I'll see you there. And I just kind of stand back and let them go over it, just kind of being a comforting presence for Kassi.
Elder Corinna brings out the thing, so looks inside it, and you see, cherry blossoms in there.
Good. Chloe, come here.
And around your age, so like roughly middle-aged, fawny woman comes out with her pet goat Bob.
Hold on. Okay, I'm picturing, is it like a Goofy and Pluto situation, or what's
Yes.
happening here? Okay.
There are actual goats in the world.
That does make sense.
If you had a pet monkey, would you be like, oh, it's a little me?
Yes.
This would be weird?
Yes, I would.
I mean, it'd have to be an ape.
They have qualities of, but they are not them.
They are not goats. They just kind of look like them.
A warmer, kinder greeting smile would cross my face.
Oh, Karna. Nice.
Chloe, it's been so long. How have you been and how you've grown?
Oh, yeah. It's been a little bit.
I'm sorry, I don't wish to interrupt anything, but we definitely need to catch up.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I smile, give like a small wink, and I kind of like I kind of scruffle Bob behind the ear.
Chloe.
Sorry. I
Step back. My fault. And I step back.
She takes the blossoms and starts grinding them in a mortar and pestle. Great job, Kassi. You did a great job. Oh, thanks. I thought. Thank you.
I give her a reassuring pat on the shoulder and a sly little wink, like told you.
All right, good. All right, both you two can go somewhere else. Go.
All right, come along, Kassi.
See you at the festival.
Speaking of which, do you guys have anything else you want to do before the festival happens? It's happening tonight.
I would say this entire time we've been here, Alex has been trying to like not get an audience with the druids, but just kind of subtly pick their brain about how their ideology behind how their magic works.
Every time you would ask Karna about it, he would try to pressure you not to do that just because of how strict some of them can be about their like a lot of them I'm assuming kind of follow Elder Corinna's example of like human bad, don't tell them secrets.
Certainly you wouldn't want Elder Corinna to see you explaining how their magic works to an outsider.
Yeah, and most of them would probably have been students of Corinna at some points.
Yeah, I think like if there's anyone you could maybe get a conversation with, it would be Chloe, who is currently busy. But
Alex's interest within shift to the festival itself, because he does want to. He's always been told about what wild magic looks like outside the pontificate, but he does want to see like a formal ritual and see what kind of is contributed to it.
okay, so let's move forward to the Summer Renewal Festival. There's a bonfire going, there's music playing, people dancing and singing. Elder Corinna and Chloe are still are like getting stuff prepared for the big event. And there's all sorts of festival events happening right now. Like I said, music and dancing. There's games happening, flighting, which is to say sort of a poetry rap battle. And some gambling that Uncle Fergus is indulging in.
Karna would also be participating. There's not much for stakes, but mostly dares, bets, any objects that you might want to trade around, favors.
What kind of food is there?
Wines, dates, olives. It's a fairly vegetarian fair. Where
that's the thing. Like if you've wanted fish, you would have had to go get it, which you probably have had to just to
Had to hammer some fish in the
just to exist, like just to like keep running normally. You would probably have to get some meat.
This is a literal land of plenty. You can find They'd probably frown upon if you were like going and like hunting a goat or something like that. But if you're hunting for fish, you might get a side eye, but it's like, okay.
Yeah, they use goats for like goat milk to make like cheese and stuff, but they don't slaughter goats.
Yeah, we have sheep for fabric.
But like, yeah, salads with like tomatoes, lettuce, lemon juice, feta cheese, like
Mediterranean fare.
Yeah, Mediterranean salads, spanakopita.
Spanakopita.
They got spanakopita.
Hell yeah.
Bean and potato soups, some gyros with no meat.
The food's probably very good, but all vegetarian. So if you are a carnivore, you would have had to have found your own.
Yeah, Maud probably hearing about this event was like, I want to enjoy the food, but I also she got some fish beforehand. Like she.
Well, luckily, whenever we go to Lookout Falls, that is where a river is.
Yeah,
so.
Hammer in some fish.
Every morning, Martin's looking out and then just hears a bang, bang, bang.
Smash the fishies, smash the fishies.
I'm being normal.
Maud might try and find some like baklava or some kind of
a sweet treat.
Karna would just be walking around glad-handing, catching up with people that he hasn't seen in forever, because people are traveling from all over the island.
When it comes to people at the party, there's Dionysia, full-on party girl, like, yeah, everyone, let's have some fun. Let's fucking party. She's already very drunk. There's also a funny name, Alcibiades, who starts an unsanctioned orgy. He definitely invited you to.
You're exotic.
Feels like an orgy might be a bit much for Maud, but he invited you.
It's nice to be invited, you know? She appreciated
Karna would probably have to explain to you what what orgies are.
Yeah, and she was like, oh.
It's like the fuck ball, but you're in it.
The fuck ball. You talk so much about the fuck ball.
There's a funny named Socrates who's just like arguing pedantically with a lot of people. He's just like, his idea of fun is to start arguments and try to win. Honestly, he might enjoy trying to do that most with Alex.
So Alex is probably going to be a bit of a downer at the party, as he is situated probably near where the renewal ceremony would take place, and he's just sitting there eating on a whole cheese platter.
And it's all feta, by the way.
Yeah, no. Anytime someone talks to him, he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm just," and like he's trying to really pollute his breath. So anyone that comes by gets a full whiff of it.
If you're near the ceremony, you would also catch like glimpse. If you caught a glimpse of Elder Corinna, she would like sort of glare at you and continue what she's doing.
I would always try to avoid her, like meeting her glare. Like every time she's looking at me, I'm looking over here, down at the cheese.
Maud is so bad at like reading vibes that one time she saw that happening and was like,
I think she likes you.
Maud, she does not.
Hello. Bonjour.
There's three younger Fawny boys marching around keeping the peace called the Hillbillies. And then they're
I
just
get it.
and they're just walking around like playing cop, kind of, just sort of like being like,
You're not supposed to do that till after the ceremony.
yeah, like Elder Corinna gave them the job of making sure everybody's safe, and they take it.
Leave
very
room for the
serious.
Great Shepherd for now.
Too close.
So you're just sort of wandering around.
I'm just doing my thing, socializing, talking with people. Eventually, I would probably make my way to the relative outcasts of the party who have found themselves in a corner.
I mean, well, Maud, are you hanging out with Alex, or are you off doing something else?
Yeah, I think.
I think Gritty would have offered to dance with you.
Yeah, and Maud, not just over her head, not getting it. It was like, oh no, I'm eating this sweet treat right now.
Okay, yeah, no, that's I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need any wood or anything. Like,
Yeah. Well, there's lots of other people to dance with, though. She looks like she wants to dance. Why don't you ask her?
Elder Corinna.
Elder Corinna, I seen her looking at you. I think she likes you.
I don't think so.
No one's asking her to dance.
If you don't want to dance, that's okay.
Well, that's okay. I'm eating a sweet treat.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, no.
Would you want to dance after you eat that?
Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna want to do after that. Who can say?
I get the message. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll and he just sort of dejectedly walks off.
There's very much a shrug from Alex, like, I tried, man.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Maud.
I just walk past as he's like walking away. That man is forlorn.
Lauren, what? 4?
No worries. He's very taken by you.
Oh, I did not take him here.
Oh, I don't think you had to.
He likes to be with you.
Oh, I like to be with him too.
Yeah.
I'd set down another plate of feta in front of you, noticing that you've just been scarfing at it.
Alex, I don't mean to be rude, but your mouth smells bad.
That's the idea.
Okay.
I've gotten like only 3 people have asked me to do something. That's about a third of usual rate.
She's never going to dance with you if you smell like that.
I chuckle at that. Oh, I think her dancing days are far behind her.
Oh, that is so sad.
I'm just waiting to see if she can rock on those horns.
Yeah.
I nudge you, you dog.
No, not like that.
I thought Stephan were horny.
I just meant if she like needs to sit down, she just rolls her head back.
Ask Grandpa. I bet he knows.
Alex blue screens.
Kassi walks up to you. He's like, Uncle Karna.
Yes, Kassi.
Sappho keeps looking at me.
I look at Sappho.
Sappho is a sheep-like fawny. She's just sort of staring at Kassi, unmoving.
I'm gonna make an insight. I've been stared at a lot by a lot of different people. 15 on the dot.
It's somewhat common knowledge amongst some of the older ones that she has a condition where if she's aroused by someone, only women, really, her name's Sappho, she just freezes.
I smile, look back at her. I think she likes you. How do you feel about her?
And Kassi, hearing that, falls over. So one staring, unmoving, one is...
I catch her. Whoop.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, well, it's the most natural thing in the world, though I think we should wait till after the ceremony. But for now, if you like her, you can go say hi.
I don't know if I like her.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Do you think she's pretty?
Yeah.
That's a good start. And the only way to know if you truly like her or not is to get to know her. And the only way to get to know her is by introducing yourself.
Okay.
Do you need my help?
No. I'm 38 years old. I can do this.
You can. I believe in you. And I help her get back to her feet, make sure she's sturdy-legged, and I give her a bardic inspiration.
Then I guess we'll roll to see how she does talking to Sappho. Bardic inspiration, you say?
Bardic inspiration at my level is a D6, so add a D6 to the roll. And she gets to roll with advantage on the D6.
On the D6, okay.
She might be able to do thunder damage.
Only if she attacks.
She rolls with all that together. She got a 5.
Jesus Christ.
She just faints again, and Stephan just stares, and she's just. Stephan's just.
Fumbled the bag.
I just smile. Ah, young love.
I think at least they're mutually fumbling.
Yeah, that's good. They match each other's
They
freak.
both have a condition.
Yeah.
They're actually kind of cute together.
That said, I'd actually like to talk to each of you individually.
Ooh.
Is there anything each of you would do, just sort of going around the party, like something you would just do by yourself?
I'd roam around saying hi to family and friends. Like, Karna has no particular agenda tonight.
Yeah, Mod would just be enjoying the food and just like going around absorbing everything and observing.
Just the vibes?
Yeah. She likes the vibes.
If the other two are leaving, Alex could just stay there.
Yeah, Alex's interest at the moment is the setup and eventual ceremony for the renewal. So aside from maybe going back to the Lookout Falls to see if there's any activity in response to the ceremony, he would stay there.
Do you want us to leave?
Yeah.
All
you
right.
guys-
Oh boy.
Ooh. Fun.
Why? You get to wonder about that.
Hey, you! Do you forsake our Lord Jesus Christ? Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Jesus? Ever heard of him? Then you might like Dungeons and Dragons games. And if you like Dungeons and Dragons games, you might like Tales Unwritten. And they have YouTube memberships now. And they're paying me, Jimmy, advertisements to advertise for that. And so I will, even though it is against my principles as a really hardline Christian, as a follower of our Lord Jesus Christ, who is actually alive today and in Milwaukee. You can go talk to him. He healed my herpes. I still have it, but it's less bad. And if you don't want to get herpes, you should become a member of the Tales Unwritten YouTube channel. If you do that right now, you get next week's episode right now. You can go watch it currently. At this exact moment. Let me tell you what money gets you. $2, you watch all the videos early if you want. I guess you can just pay for it and not watch them, but why do that? For $5, you get more things like these. All of them. And for $10, you get even more. That last one's mostly for if you really want to support the show, which worships Satan. Don't you forget that. And if you're okay with that, you can become a YouTube member for Tales Unwritten. That's what they paid me to say. I'm done. And now I get to say whatever I want. All right, so Jesus, he lives in Milwaukee, right? And if you go to his house.
So Karna is just sort of wandering around the party, just observing. Are you keeping a sharp eye, or are you just sort of...
He's pretty lackadaisical about it. I mean, he's in Greener Pastures. He views this as a very safe place.
So just a normal perception check then. Roll a perception check.
Sure.
Can you roll a perception check for me?
13.
14.
Very good. Perception for 22.
With the 22, I think I'll give you multiple things.
Ooh.
Firstly, you notice, Alex, amongst the crowd of Fawny, you see a face that looks so vaguely familiar to you.
Cheese, ceremony, face. Cheese, ceremony, face. Face. I can always come back to the ceremony when it's ready. I go try and chase down the face.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, at the exact same time, Maud, this isn't hard for you to catch. Sort of in like a forested area, you catch the glimpse of...
Maud just sort of like looks to the left and wanders into the woods.
Yeah, so essentially what I'm offering you is the ability to spy on one of those events.
Interesting.
Alex, you just cannot place this face. It is not in any way familiar to you. Let's roll a quick stealth check to see if you get caught.
8.
He actually walks faster. Away.
Wait!
He does not wait.
I'll start chasing. Just a moment of your time, please.
Can you roll an athletics check for me then?
Come on, this is +4. Stop fucking me. Natural 20.
Okay. You quickly catch up to this guy.
I put a hand on his shoulders like, just a moment, please.
What?
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to bother you. It's just, I felt like we've met before. Have you been outside Greener Pastures?
Outside? I mean, we all have been outside Greener Pastures.
Have you perhaps been to either Port Taraf or Vitega?
No.
Insight. 19.
Yeah, you can tell he's lying. He's definitely lying.
Port Taraf, then?
I don't. Where would we meet in Port Taraf?
Alex will let his amulet come out from under his cloak. Where indeed?
You want to roll intimidation?
19 plus 2, so 21.
Okay. Yes. You've seen me before. They call me Pelagius here. That's my real name. But you know me by a different name.
Did we perhaps meet in the Lucky Break?
Yeah.
Ah. Were you with the Jack of Aces or the Bards Guild?
I was with the Bards. I'm the Great Sidolagos. Come on.
Your makeup was impeccable. That's why I couldn't exactly place you.
Thank you. I do it myself.
So why are you here for the renewal?
Yeah, obviously.
How are things in Port Tariff?
Bad.
What
Thanks to you.
did I do?
You and Karna and the cat. Rabbit?
Shopaloo.
Yeah.
Bad how?
They're rounding people up over there.
Did they say why?
Our people.
Ah,
I can't tell you more than that, okay?
why not?
I can't tell you more than that.
Why not?
Can't tell you.
Can I see your hand?
Sure?
I look to see if he has the Jack of Aces seal.
He does not.
Okay. Maybe my first guess. I will run my hand over my amulet, and just for a moment my eyes flash as I cast Detect Magic.
Yes, you see magic on him.
Are you under orders to do anything here at the renewal? I'll take that as a yes.
You see that when you go behind that tree that there's a big, tall standing mirror there, but the glass is red.
Oh. She's gonna go over to it and just kind of like look it up and down, and then she's gonna try to touch the glass.
And nothing happens.
Are people in danger?
I don't know.
If you were perhaps unconscious, do you feel that you would be in danger if you were not able to complete your task?
Probably.
She's gonna tip it over so that it's lying down on the ground where the glass is, and then she's gonna walk away.
All right. I didn't see you, but I would ask that you find it within yourself to keep in mind that whatever you are under orders of doing are most likely for a nefarious purpose and thus endanger people here.
Okay.
So I would ask, do you care more about your life or the perhaps safety of the people of this town?
I don't want to die.
But if it came down to either living and endangering people or dying and saving people, what would you prefer?
I'd take the living.
So Karna walks out from behind a tree that I've been kind of spying behind. Self-preservation is always part of one's nature, but never endangering the flock. Sidolagos. Long time no see.
Oh, God.
He's employed in the same way Ren was. Or at least I believe so. I couldn't find a brand.
What happened after we left, Sidolagos?
Things got bad, and it's your fault. So,
Interesting that you point the finger at me and not the hand that grips you so tightly. What did he offer you, or are you allowed to say?
if that were true, why would I be allowed to say it?
Fair? You must have come back here for a reason.
Should have burned those contracts.
I feel like Sidolagos' name would not have been on one of them. This seems like something recent. Only recently was he picketing the Jack of Aces.
Actually, yes. He was picketing the Jack of Aces tavern. What changed?
What do you think changed? You blew up a church!
I blew up a prison.
He went to the Jack of Aces for protection.
And you've admitted that the Jack of Aces may be working in tandem with the church in some way, shape, or form, or at least the magistrate.
It seemed like the magistrate was just willing to tolerate the Jack of Aces.
Because he's so profitable.
Oh, damn it.
A revelation, perhaps?
The magistrate would have leverage on the Jack of Aces.
Courtesy of those aforementioned contracts, I take it?
Every single one but Ren's is now in his possession, at least the ones that were made before we left.
Depending how far under thumb that puts him. I put my arm around Sidolagos. You can relax. We're not going to hurt you. I know that the last time we met, it was an unfortunate incident. I didn't know what was happening in town. I hadn't been in Port Tarif in at least a century. And I do apologize for my actions. I didn't mean for it to harm anyone. But I wasn't going to sit idly by while the church had their way with me and every single person on that continent. Let alone every single person in that jail cell. You probably know more about this than I do. But that whole dungeon was filled with people like us. Those who are born the way we are, magic in our blood, incidentally or otherwise. I don't know what their greater intention is. But I'm not going to sit back and watch them suffer. And the Sidolagos I knew as a young boy, I don't think he would have either. You loved making the children smile. You loved making me smile when I was young. Performing your tricks. You inspired me in many ways to become what I am. I mean you no harm. I just wish I knew what I could do to help you right now.
Do you want to roll a
Persuasion?
persuasion?
Sure. I'm very good at that. The dice is also good at that. That's a modified 20. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I thought it was a +4. It's a +9. That is a 25. Karna's doing pretty good today.
You see him sort of steel himself. They're trying to disrupt the ritual. There's one other
Maud is going to run towards the scream, still holding the baklava.
Alex will thrust his hand onto him and try and use lay on hands.
At the same time, I'm going to burn a second level spell. 10 healing for me.
And then it's just 10. I just touch him and
So he heals for 20 in the moment of combustion.
It will not do it. He burns away in front of you. Like a paper catching on fire, just turns to ash.
Karna's like, no, 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 no.
and Alex's hand is on him as he combusts.
Karna's eyes are in abject shock, and you can see tears start to kind of like glisten on his face.
There's no time for that.
There's one other.
There is. Alex turns around and runs into Maud.
And Karna is like immediately starting to book it towards where the elders are.
There's a jack-o'-lite here. We're not sure what they're trying to do, but most likely it's putting people in danger.
Oh, Milt.
I can concentrate on detect magic for up to 10 minutes, so I'm actually going to start moving through the party to see if I can see the same aura again.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. We'll say with advantage, I think. I think that makes sense.
The 15.
Over near where some gaming is happening, you're able to pinpoint someone with that same magical aura on them.
He is going to grab them by the shoulders, say, sorry, this person's in danger, and runs off with them.
You're not making any attempt to know who this is.
Oh,
No, not yet. He's grabbed them from behind.
Okay.
He is running them to the falls.
All right, so you're running them to the to the falls. What now?
He'll put them down, turn them around.
You suddenly realize you do recognize this person. It's Uncle Fergus.
On the next episode of Tales Unwritten.
If we both walk in front of him,
My stealth is a +6, so
Well, mine's with disadvantage.
so